goddess bless you.
Greetings, warrior. It is good you've decided to visit us. Welcome to Sanarian Refuge, Munzi. I hope you've come to aid us in our mission. We've much work ahead of us. Greetings, warrior. We came to Outland expecting to find small pockets of life. What we discovered in Zangarmarsh was a lush environment with a thriving ecosystem. Our initial assessment of the area was deceiving, however. The water levels at the lakes and marshes have consistently been going down since we started taking measurements. The impact this could have on the local animal and plant life is disastrous. Go to Umbrafen Lake, southwest of here, and look for clues related to this water depletion. Greetings, warrior. These marshes are beautiful, wouldn't you agree? That is, except for the Naga forces draining the water away. I sent a small expedition to the Coilfang Reservoir to investigate the Naga, and they haven't returned. I'm concerned that something has happened to them. Would you travel to the slave pens underneath Serpent Lake and find Watchajang? Greetings, warrior. Before you leave Sanarian Refuge, make sure you speak with Warden Hamut. He's in charge of the expedition's security. He would never forgive me if I didn't send a seasoned adventurer like you his way.
Have you observed your surroundings closely, Monzi? This is an ailing landscape, struggling to keep itself in balance and losing the fight. If you know where to look, you can see the symptoms. Members of some species rapidly outgrow their peers and become more aggressive. A good example of this uncontrolled growth is the marsh trekker boglash. If you wish to see it for yourself, look no further than the waterways south of the refuge. Be prepared to defend yourself. The creature knows no mercy.
The lakes of Zangarmarsh are slowly being drained of their water. We don't quite know why, but we do know that many plant species are in danger of becoming extinct. As the expedition's cataloger, it is my job to track and identify these plants so we can better understand what's happening to them. If you'd like to help, bring me unidentified plant parts. They can be picked right from the ground if you're an herbalist, and the indigenous creatures of the swamp may also carry plant parts on them.
The Naga are terrible, yes. But even more terrible are the traitor tribes of broken and lost ones that help them. The worst of all are the lost ones of the Umbrafen tribe. They use dark magic to trap and enslave others. They're especially cruel to escaped slaves and would slit my throat if I left the refuge even for a day. Travel to Umbrafen village south of here and kill them and their leader, Kataru. Until then I will fear for my life every single day.
Notices of reward for the Naga leaders of the Dark Crest and Bloodscale tribes are listed here. A bounty is hereby declared by the Sanarian expedition on Raja Hagaist, leader of the Dark Crest Naga. Hagaist was last sighted by Sanarian scouts at the lagoon, in the central southern region of Zangarmarsh. The Dark Crest have been linked to numerous attacks against the Sanarian expedition and their leader is considered extremely dangerous. Those seeking to claim the bounty are advised to report to Warden Hamut. A bounty is hereby declared by the Sanarian expedition on Regis Firesh, leader of the Bloodscale Naga. The Naga sorceress was last sighted at Serpent Lake, in the northern region of Zangarmarsh. The Bloodscale are to be considered extremely dangerous and their leader is to be approached with extreme caution. Those seeking to claim the bounty are advised to report to Warden Hamut at Sanarian Refuge.
Isil expected some enemy opposition to her foray into Outland. That's why us wardens were brought along. We never expected our opposition to come in the strength or numbers that the Naga have shown. Isil sent you. Of course I can use someone like you. We're always in need of a little muscle. While the druids from the expedition have made themselves busy studying plants and researching the lakes, I've made it my business to deal with the hostiles in the area. Ever since we set foot in Zongarmarsh, the Naga have launched lethal attacks against us without warning. We've done our best to keep them at bay, but our resources are limited. I want you to go to the various Naga strongholds in Zongarmarsh and show them that we're not to be crossed. Bring me their claws as proof of your victories.
When was your last checkup? You should consider losing some weight. You must help me get out of here. I was gathering herbs nearby when a handful of these little savages abducted me. I tried to fight them off, but there were too many of them. Help me return to the Sanarian refuge and away from these cruel wretches and their vile magic.
Walk with me.
Is the way clear? Let's get out while we can, Munzi. Umbrafen Oracle says. Attempts to run away in fear. Looks like we won't get away so easily. Get ready. When was your last checkup? Say up. Let's keep moving. We're not safe here. You should consider losing some weight. Look out, Munzi. Enemies ahead.
You won't escape us, Druid.
We're almost to the refuge. Let's go. I can see my fellow druids from here. Thank you, Munzi. I'm sure Ezeal will reward you for your actions. Turn your head and cough twice. Umbrafen Oracle says. Attempts to run away in fear. You should consider losing some weight.
Umbrafen Witch Doctor says. Attempts to run away in fear.
Turn your head and cough twice. When was your last checkup? Umbrafen says. Attempts to run away in fear. Take 2 potions and call me in the morning. Umbrafen says. Attempts to run away in fear. Where does it hurt? Dark Crest Sorceress says. Attempts to run away in fear. Where does it hurt? You should consider losing some weight. Dark Crest Sentry says. You are spotted by the percent X. Dark Crest Sentry says. Calls for help. Dark Crest Slaver says. Calls for a nearby slave to assist him. Drehut Drudge says. Attempts to run away in fear. Dark Crest Sorceress says. Attempts to run away in fear. Dark Crest Slaver says. Calls for a nearby slave to assist him. Dark Crest Sorceress says. Attempts to run away in fear. Where does it hurt? Drehut Drudge says. Attempts to run away in fear. Where does it hurt? Take 2 potions and call me in the morning. Dark Crest Sorceress says. Attempts to run away in fear. Drehut Drudge says. Attempts to run away in fear. Dark Crest Slaver says. Calls for a nearby slave to assist him. Dark Crest Sorceress says. Attempts to run away in fear. Dark Crest Slaver says. Calls for a nearby slave to assist him. Dark Crest Sorceress says. Attempts to run away in fear. Drehut Drudge says. Attempts to run away in fear.
Raja Hagade says. Discards his weapons and reaches for a poliarm.
When was your last checkup? Say up.
Dark Crest Siren says. Attempts to run away in fear.
When was your last checkup? You should consider losing some weight. Drehut Drudge says. Attempts to run away in fear. Dark Crest Taskmaster says. Called for a nearby slave to assist him.
Dark Crest Siren says. Attempts to run away in fear.
Drehut Drudge says. Attempts to run away in fear.
Dark Crest Siren says. Attempts to run away in fear.
Drehut Drudge says. Attempts to run away in fear. Dark Crest Taskmaster says. Calls for a nearby slave to assist him. Where does it hurt? Turn your head and cough twice. Dark Crest Taskmaster says. Calls for a nearby slave to assist him. Turn your head and cough twice. Take 2 potions and call me in the morning.
Twin Spire Ruins is not yet secure. My orders are to only give out battle standards when the 2 beacons are lit and the area is secure. Get out there and gain control of those beacons.
Bloodscale Overseer says. Calls for a nearby slave to assist him. Rage's Fire says. Attempts to run away in fear. Say up. Bloodscale Overseer says. Calls for a nearby slave to assist him. Where does it hurt? Rex Slave says. Attempts to run away in fear. When was your last checkup? Take 2 potions and call me in the morning.
Twin Spire Ruins is not yet secure. My orders are to only give out battle standards when the 2 beacons are lit and the area is secure. Get out there and gain control of those beacons.
Greetings, warrior. It is good you've decided to visit us. The Naga are behind this. But why? From what you describe, that steam pump must be part of the cause for the water levels dropping in the marsh. No matter, this explains their open hostility towards us. We must determine how widespread the Naga's activity truly is and react accordingly. Exploring each body of water in Zanga Marsh could be a lengthy undertaking. If you allow me to, I will use my magic to mold your shape to one more suited to scouting the marsh. Hold this amulet above the balcony near me when you're ready to begin. I will guide your way back to safety after we're done. Greetings, warrior. It is good you've decided to visit us. You rescued one of my druids. We could never repay you, Munzi. You have my thanks as well as that of the expedition.
Hello.
Now that you've seen the symptoms of imbalance with your own eyes, be mindful of them in your travels.
Goodbye.
Thank you, Monzi. I will finally sleep comfortably at night. Were I not so old and weakened, I would deal with my own enemies. Take this gold. It is not much, but your kindness cannot go unpaid. Soon after I escaped the Umbrafen tribe, I holed up in a cave south of their village. Little did I know that the cave was being fought over by marsh beasts and spore men. I had to leave in a hurry and left behind a box containing my only worldly possessions. After managing to sneak out of Umbrafen with my belongings, it was terrible irony that I would lose them so soon after. If you're willing to bring them back to me, I'll give you one of my very own personal items. What do you say, Monzi?
I've always liked sorting and organizing things. I guess I take after my mother. Did you find any plant parts, Monzi? The decrease in native species is certainly a cause for concern. The increase in invasive species could be related to the recent disturbance in the ecosystem. I don't have enough information to make a conclusion, yet. Loriana jots down some notes on a journal as she goes through the plant parts. Take these, Monzi. They might be of some use to you. Bring me any other plant parts you find. I'll incorporate them into my statistics. I've always liked sorting and organizing things. I guess I take after my mother. Ikayan's been telling me stories about what happened to him down in those caves, and I think it's just awful. You know, maybe we should do something to help out those poor spore locks. Ikayan says that they live there in the Fungar Cavern, but that the marsh beasts have recently invaded. Why don't you go down there and see if you can clear some of those marsh beasts out? It's just to the southwest.
You wish to speak?
May the wines guide you, Monzi. In your travels, you might have encountered some of the expedition's watchers. They do the majority of the field work, documenting the unique inhabitants of the marsh, collecting samples, and making contact with sentient species. The safety of the Watchers is paramount, warrior. We've had to recall the Watchers we sent to explore Fungar Cavern to the south, because of marsh beast attacks. Warden Hamud believes that killing their leader, Lord Clack, will bring a swift end to the attacks. May the winds guide you, Monzi. You've earned the trust of the Cenarian expedition, Monzi. It is time you spoke to the ancients allied with our cause, Ashion and Kalith, and asked for their blessing. Carrying the mark of an ancient will fill you with great power. These boons will become more powerful as your renown among us increases. Go, Monzi, and ask the ancients for their blessing.
Winds, Yakio back.
Isil expected some enemy opposition to her foray into Outland. That's why us wardens were brought along. We never expected our opposition to come in the strength or numbers that the Naga have shown. It's good to see you again, Monzi. How's your hunt for the Naga going? Good job, Monzi. You'd do well to shed any feelings of remorse you might harbor. These Naga are vicious creatures, even more so than the Azerothian ones. Isil expected some enemy opposition to her foray into Outland. That's why us wardens were brought along. We never expected our opposition to come in the strength or numbers that the Naga have shown. I didn't like the Naga in Azeroth and I like them less here. It's a real shame our mission could not remain a peaceful one, but you won't see me shedding tears for dead Naga. Here's your reward for taking care of the Dark Crest leader, Monzi. I'll bet the Bloodscale will think twice about attacking expedition scouts again. Take this as a reward, Monzi. You've earned it.
Nature is a powerful force, Night Elf. Those who seek to subdue never succeed in doing so permanently. Nature favors those willing to learn its secrets, Munzi.
May the winds guide you, Monzi. You've returned. Did you receive the ancients' blessings?
Ancestors watch.
When was your last checkup? You should consider losing some weight. Where does it hurt? You should consider losing some weight. Turn your head and cough twice. You should consider losing some weight.
You have my gratitude, Monzi, and that of the Watchers. They will be heartened to hear that they can continue their work to the south without fear of attack.
Did you find my belongings, Monzi? The cave is not far from Umbrafen, near the border with Nagrand. My things. They're all here. I thank you, Monzi. As promised, I'll let you pick one of the items for yourself. I don't have much to offer, but my people have always shared what little we have.
I've always liked sorting and organizing things. I guess I take after my mother. Good. Those marsh beasts have no right to invade the home of the Spore Locks. It would be better if these creatures would learn to live in harmony, but when that's not possible, we'll be here to take care of the situation. Here, please take one of these as thanks for your help. I could still use some more plant parts. With the lakes losing their water, I've a feeling the number of invasive species is on the rise. I need more numbers to back up my theory, however. Excellent. Keep bringing me more plant parts if you find any. This quest is repeatable up to honored reputation.
I am listening.
We Cenarian druids are the protectors of the balance of nature. The main point being the balance. When called for, we shouldn't wait too long before taking decisive action. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise, especially those of us who only want to observe. There's important research to be conducted into the ecology of the local creatures, especially the sporulings and bog lords of the marsh. And trust me, once you get out into the field, you'll find the work to be challenging. Seek out Watcher Liso at the Cenarian watchpost in the western region of the marsh toward the south. Follow the path west and you will eventually find her. She can be a bit studious, but don't let that get to you. Oh, and watch out for her cat. We haven't heard from the druids at the Cenarian thicket of Terakar forest in quite some time. Monzi, I'd like for you to go down there and check in with them to see what's happening. There are several ways to get there, but the fastest is to head south along the path, and then take the road that branches east from Shatrath city once you're in the forest.
Dare not.
Tel Redder was once a secluded retreat for Drania priests and pilgrims. The resident priests seldom received visitors. When the orcs started to attack Drania settlements, refugees began to arrive in larger numbers. Ancho Right Ahuran and the others transformed Tel Redder from a shrine into a safe haven. Many Drania, myself included, owe our survival to his efforts. Prophet Velan's search for allies has emboldened those Drania remaining in Outland to begin a search of their own. The Legion's war on my people drove us from our cities and temples, but they have not destroyed the traces of our civilization. Tubaram, my former home in the Terakar forest, was one of the first cities overrun by the orcs. It's been too long since I've received news of its status. Take this letter to Andarl in the Alarian stronghold within Terakar and see what you can find out. I have lived among the Ancho rites of Tel Redder for some time, Monzi, and in that time I've come to know the marsh quite well. Recently, I've started to notice a disturbing change in the land to the northeast. Virtually all life there has begun to wither and die, seemingly without explanation. I have a few ideas as to what might be happening, but they are little more than speculation. If you were to bring me a sample of the soil in that area, I may be able to get to the bottom of this mystery.
Good health. Prices here are reasonable. Remain vigilant.
Good fortune.
Tel Redder has seen more change in the last 20 years than it did in prior centuries. I cannot complain, Monzi, for the world has changed far more in that time. The light has brought me friends and companions I could not have met as a cloistered priest. Learn what you can of the past in your time here. It will help you to understand where your journey is leading you. As you know, many of Tel Redder's inhabitants are refugees from the war that decimated the Drania. It is my goal to maintain Tel Redder as a safe haven for all of our allies in this struggle. There are some who desire to join us, but feel they are not yet ready. We owe them whatever help we can provide, Monzi. A group of broken under the leadership of Akudi have taken shelter in the ruins of an old temple to the northwest of Serpent Lake. Seek them out and extend your hand in friendship to them. Before my people were decimated by the orcs, Tel Redder served as a retreat for Drania Anchorites and spiritualists. A small order of Anchorites and Vindicators maintained a number of shrines in this region. During the war, we lost contact with the Anchorites assigned to the shrines, particularly the Bohamu Temple to the southwest. I've heard reports that a tribe of lost ones has settled in the area and may even be using the ruins. Visit the Bohamu ruins and tell me of what you find there. There is little in this swamp that will burn, Night Elf, so we must resort to other means for lighting Tel Redder. Many of the creatures and plants in the marsh emit a soft glow. It's difficult and cruel to confine the glowing creatures, so we've turned to a species of mushroom for our light source. We pick and cultivate the fulgur mushroom here, but our needs require us to gather new crops occasionally. The small green mushrooms often grow at the base of larger ones near Tel Redder. The first expedition the League sent reported encountering a gigantic spore bat they'd taken to calling Spore Ewing. They had to leave in a hurry, so they didn't have the chance to kill him while they were here, so I figured I'd finish the job for them. What's left of their report suggests that the creature can be found in the southwestern parts of the Dead Mire. I think Vindicator Edar mentioned that it's to the northeast of Tel Redder. Welcome to Tel Redder, warrior. If you need anything, don't hesitate to ask. On my last hunting trip, I caught sight of a new outpost being built by a group of trolls. No doubt they've begun hunting these lands, too. If they establish a permanent presence out here, the competition for food will be fierce. We cannot take direct action against them without provocation, but we can remove some of the natural competition for food. For each mire hydra you kill, that's 3 fewer mouths to feed.
The view from the top of Tel Redder is magnificent, isn't it? During the orcs' war against my people, gatherers rarely left Tel Redder for fear of being attacked or captured. Now, we venture out more often, but the marsh is no less perilous. It seems that the nether rays have grown bolder in recent months. I don't know if it has something to do with more competition for their normal prey, but they've been attacking our foraging parties on a regular basis. If we can thin their ranks in the area around Tel Redder, perhaps they would learn to leave us alone.
May your days be long and your hardships free.
When was your last checkup? Where does it hurt? You should consider losing some weight. Turn your head and cough twice. Take 2 potions and call me in the morning. Say after. Where does it hurt? You should consider losing some weight. Take 2 potions and call me in the morning.
Were you able to get a sample of the soil in the dead mire? The soil seems to be depleted, so it can't be the cause of the problem, as I'd thought. What's the common link here? Why is everything suddenly dying? The soil sample you brought me is nearly devoid of moisture, Monzi. If the soil itself is losing moisture, then the creatures that live in the dead mire must be suffering terribly. I've seen what happens when the region's fungal giants begin to wither and die. The pain drives them mad, causing them to attack anything in their path. These creatures have no idea what's happening to them. They're beyond our ability to save, so the best we can do is to end their suffering. Well done, Monzi. I think you and I have managed to outshine a whole team of prospectors. When I get back to Ironforge, I'm sure I'll get my choice of assignments. By Husgaroda's flaming navel, it's hot here. I can't blame the first party for leaving, but everyone knows 'twas the heat that drove them away. No, it was Black Sting, although they won't admit it. They were camped just to the south of the glowing Drania Towers to the west, just north of the Feral Fen village, when the giant wasp appears out of nowhere and attacks. I can't wait to see the looks on their faces when I bring the creature's stinger back to Ironforge and show it to them.
Safe travel. Each day is a
Welcome to Telredder, warrior. If you need anything, don't hesitate to ask. Well done. That should ease the demand on the food supply around here for the immediate future, although we're going to need to find new sources of food. Fish and mushrooms suffice, but variety can never be underestimated. Living in such a remote location has taught us to make use of everything available. Of course, you have to learn to stop thinking about where some of these materials come from first. I've found that the wings of the Umberglow stingers are very helpful for waterproofing. They're strong, thin, and flexible. Halrun chuckles. I see the look on your face. Like I said, it takes time to get used to the idea. If you're going to be out and about, would you mind bringing me some of the wings?
The view from the top of Telredder is magnificent, isn't it? Thank you for your help in clearing out some of the Marsh Fang rivers, Monzi. If they had any intelligence, perhaps they'd learn that it's best to live and let live. Norani shrugs. Giant, overgrown bugs with intelligence. I wonder what that would be like. It's good to see another fresh face here. When Halrun and I first came to Telredder, we were the only outsiders, but that seems like a lifetime ago. Still, we try to welcome newcomers and ensure that there's always enough food and supplies. We can never fully repay the kindness of the Telredder anchorites, but we can follow their example and extend it to others. If you would like to help, the nearby lakes are populated with a fish called the umbrafen eel, whose meat is a staple of our diet.
Be kind to those less fortunate.
You should consider losing some weight.
From the looks of things, we'll need to replenish our spores soon. These are good spores and they should keep us going for quite some time. Thank you for helping us to replenish our supplies, Monzi.
Safe journey.